I would love to talk about Soke Hatsumi for a few minutes. As far as I know, I'm not friends with Hatsumi, I'm not close to him, but I do have a lot of friends that live in Japan. He's doing very well. He's 91 years old as of this year, and his birthday is in December. He's happy. He's doing well. He is eating well. He is drinking. He is having fun. He's hanging out with friends. He's resting. A well-deserved rest. He's using a walker and a wheelchair at times to get around because his body is really old. He's been doing martial arts for like 70 years, so your hips, your knees start to go after a while, especially where he's kicked so many thousands of times. And he was so flexible when he was young, but that does take a toll over the years. Everyone says his mind is razor sharp as a sword. This past year, they featured him in an exhibition on the ninja in Noda City, marking all of Hatsumi's great accomplishments in his life and showing many of the weapons of the ninja. I first encountered Hatsumi Sensei in 1980-81. This is the book called Ninjutsu History and Tradition. This is the original copy. We saw it at a store and I asked my mother if I could buy it. She said no, but back then books were all we had. We didn't have the internet, computers. All we could get was books, and I found this book and I begged my mother. I read it cover to cover 100 times. Me and my brother would go outside. We memorized the techniques. We dressed up as the ninja. I got jobs to buy weapons and shuriken and bow and swords and all that, and I became this in the book, as thousands of you out there that are old enough to remember also did. Then in 1981 I also found this book, The Ninja and Their Secret Fighting Art, by my teacher Mr. Hayes. And these books together, my gosh, we had so much fun outdoors pretending to be ninja. There are thousands of people, I would say small hundreds of thousands, that are influenced by Hatsumi over the years. He has done more for the martial arts than almost anyone I can think of. Bringing the ninja boom from the 1980s and onward, he never stopped training. He was always inspiring us, and we would have to travel. As you can see on the wall there, we'd have to travel to taikais all over the world and fly to where he was. He would come to the U.S. about twice a year. We'd have to go to Texas and New Jersey and Atlanta and Ohio, wherever we had to go to meet Hatsumi and his students, and they would show us for a weekend a few techniques, and we'd go home and practice at our local dojos. I haven't seen Hatsumi since 2019 when I was in Japan last, and since COVID shut everything down, no one has been training at the Honbu Dojo. Sadly, Japan still hasn't opened. It's supposed to this year, but they're way behind as far as a fear factor from COVID. I think that's partly due to the large elderly population in Japan who's afraid of getting sick and doesn't want any foreigners in and is just really frightened of COVID still. I really hope that they open soon. Here's a recent photo from Facebook from Pedro, who took a photo of Hatsumi Sensei in a local restaurant enjoying himself, just smiling, happy as always. He always treated me kindly. Again, I don't know him well, but the teachers that I do have that know him very well says he always treats them with kindness and respect and dignity. He welcomes them into his country, into his dojo, and many times into his home. Are there people envious of Hatsumi? Of course, there are always going to be haters out there because of the success that Hatsumi Sensei had. But how many of us out there can claim to have a life as wonderful as Hatsumi's, writing all these books, traveling around the world, meeting royalty and presidents from all different countries, getting awards from all over the place, becoming in the Black Belt Hall of Fame, mentoring hundreds and hundreds of martial art teachers from all over the world, including myself, who have opened a dojo partly because of Hatsumi. There's no denying he's a legend in the martial arts, and we should all really bow in respect to what he has done to our generation and the generations to come. Without Soke Hatsumi, I wouldn't have met Mr. Hayes, I wouldn't have met all of my teachers, I wouldn't have met the Shihan, and I would not have opened this dojo here in this community. And many of you out there watching are exactly the same. Whether you're in a dojo or you just pick up a couple of his books or his DVDs, you will enjoy the immense contribution that this man has given us. And for that, Hatsumi Sensei, I know you don't watch the internet. I salute you. I wish him the best in his twilight years with joy, happiness, plenty of food and drink, good friends, good conversations, relaxing naps on the sofa. You have earned it, and your life is a life well lived. Thank you, Soke Hatsumi and other Japanese and Chinese masters who are still alive and still giving their time to ensure that the next generations continue these traditions. Thanks for watching, everybody.